Stop waiting for the big idea. Do this instead. Somewhere right now, someone is sitting in their room, scrolling through videos, watching success stories, thinking, one day I'll find that idea, that one breakthrough, that one genius concept, that one moment that changes everything. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fail because they're not smart enough. They fail because they're waiting for something that doesn't exist. Because the people making real money right now are not reinventing anything. They are repeating patterns that already work. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. What if the problem isn't your lack of ideas, but your obsession with finding one? Let's go back to how most people think success works. We've been conditioned to believe that wealth comes from innovation, from being different, from creating something new. The stories we hear are always the same. A founder has a breakthrough idea. They take a risk. They build something revolutionary. And then they become successful. But what you don't see is how rare that path actually is. For every one person who creates something completely new, there are thousands making money by improving what already exists. Look at any industry: restaurants, clothing brands, YouTube channels, online businesses. Most of them are not original ideas. They are better executions of existing ideas. And that's the part nobody talks about, because it's not as exciting, but it's far more realistic. A self-made millionaire once explained it like this: don't reinvent success, just recognize it. That one sentence changes everything, because once you stop chasing originality, you start seeing opportunity everywhere. You realize that the game is not about invention, it's about pattern recognition. Finding what already works and making it your own. And right now there are people making over 6 figures doing exactly that. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, but because they understand something simple. Success leaves clues. Forget mass competition. The real money is in niches, vintage items, retro products, collectibles, markets where buyers are emotional and willing to pay premium prices. You're not competing with millions of sellers. You're serving a specific audience that values what you sell. That's the difference between fighting for margins and controlling them. This is one of the most overlooked opportunities right now. You don't need an audience. You don't need content. You connect brands with influencers. You negotiate the deal. You take a percentage. That's it. Some people make thousands just by sending the right emails because they understand positioning. They are not creating value. They are connecting value. AI can cut clips, but it cannot create emotion. It cannot understand pacing. It cannot build tension. It cannot control attention. And in a world where attention is everything, the people who control attention control money. That's why top editors are not freelancers anymore. They are partners because they don't just edit videos. They make them perform. Most people fail here for one reason. They treat it like a quick cash game. Random products, cheap branding, short-term thinking. But the ones making real money do the opposite. They build a brand, one product, strong identity, clear positioning, and suddenly the same product is not cheap anymore. It's premium. A logo is not valuable. Trust is valuable. And trust comes from identity. Businesses are willing to pay thousands, not for design, but for perception. If you can create something that makes a business look credible, you become essential. Most businesses still don't understand content. They post randomly. They guess. They hope. But there are patterns, hooks, retention triggers, psychological loops. And once you understand those patterns, you can grow accounts on demand, which means you can sell growth as a service. This is the final layer, because making money is one thing. Keeping it and growing it is a different game. If your money is sitting still, you are losing, because inflation is always moving. And over time, the only way to win is to let your money work. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They understand everything you just heard. They feel motivated. They feel ready. And then they do nothing. Why? Because they fall into the same trap again. They start thinking, which one is the best? Which one will make me the most money? What if I choose the wrong one? And just like that, they're back to waiting. Waiting for certainty. But certainty doesn't exist. And this is the turning point. The moment you realize that success is not about choosing the perfect opportunity. It's about committing to one. Because here's what happens if you don't. You stay in the same cycle, consuming content, learning ideas, watching others win, but never executing. And slowly, that gap between knowledge and action becomes your biggest problem. Meanwhile, someone else picks one path. They start small, they improve, they adapt, and over time, they build momentum. Because momentum is not created by thinking. It's created by doing. So what's the real lesson here? It's not about finding the best side hustle. It's not about chasing the highest income. It's about understanding one principle. Wealth is built through consistency, not creativity. You don't need a revolutionary idea. You need a repeatable system. Something simple, something proven, something you can execute daily. Because in the long run, the person who executes consistently will always outperform the person who waits for perfection. So here's the real question. Are you going to keep searching for the perfect idea or finally pick one and commit to it? Let me know in the comments.